Hello and welcome to today's political forum featuring the Stanislaus County Board of Supervisors District 1 candidates vying for the seat being vacated by Kristin Olsen, who's stepping down. Here for today's forum, from left to right, Buck Condit, Stanislaus Consolidated Fire Protection District Captain, Mike Van Winkle, Waterford Mayor, and Bill Zoslocki, Modesto City Council. Each candidate will have 1 minute for an opening statement and a minute for a closing statement. In between, they will be asked questions of Mr. Modesto Bee's editorial board, led by opinions editor Garth Stapler. This will be the third of the Bee's 7 political candidate forums over the next few weeks. The primary is March 3rd. Mail-in ballots go out in early February. Let's get started.
Very good. We'll start with opening statements. Buck.
Thank you. Thank you, Modesto Bee Editorial Board, for the invite to come and present myself to you and to the people of District 1. My name is Buck Condit, and I'm a candidate for Stanislaus County Board of Supervisors, District 1. I've lived in Stanislaus County most of my life. I served as a fire captain with Stanislaus Consolidated Fire Protection District. I'm married to my wife, Kim. We have 2 boys, Ethan and Eric, and they go to Enoch's High School. I believe Stanislaus County is a great place to raise a family. The community's shared values, we all believe in hard work and community. And I'm continuing my public service as a firefighter. I want to continue that as a Stanislaus County Board Supervisor.
Thank you. Mike.
Okay, thank you for the offer, first time being here. I'm Mike Van Winkle. I was born in Patterson, raised in Modesto, graduated from Downey, raised my kids in Modesto, and about 14 years ago I moved out to Waterford. Got involved in politics, served 2 terms on city council, and I'm in my 3rd term as mayor. I sit on StanCog right now. I chair LAFCO, so it gives me a lot of experience in the political world. I've been mayor in my 3rd term, made some hard decisions buying the water system for Waterford from the city of Modesto. That was a pretty hard decision. It was kind of controversial, but that's what you got to do when you want to be a leader, is make hard decisions. Since then, we've been able to grow and expand our business. I think we've gotten 6 or 8 businesses since then. And McDonald's is poking around, so we're good for economic development. Thank you.
Very good. Bill.
Thank you, and it is good to be here. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to the public through your operations and everything that you do for our community. I want to start with, my name is Bill Zoslocki. I have over 46 years as experience as a small businessman. As a council member, within a year of taking office, I saved the city $2.1 million plus $600,000 annual costs, because I knew instinctively the contract that was before us at that time was overcharging for LED lights, street lights. That's because I'm a businessman. I see things like that. I was also instrumental in starting Highway 132 and getting $83 million, and we are starting the groundbreaking of that project. We started the groundbreaking last October. I've been proactive in water and homelessness and public safety, and those will continue to be a priority to me. As a businessman, I bring to government is common sense, to know when you're paying too much, and that's what I plan to do, and to save taxpayers their money.
Very good. All right, now of all the issues facing Stanislaus County right now, what would be your top priorities? Some of you have already mentioned some of your priorities. Name your top one and what you would do about it. We'll start with Mike.
Economic development, getting living wage jobs here. I'm an IBW electrician. I commuted over to the Bay Area for probably the last 20 years. And seeing all the cars that go over there, I think it's time we have a good discussion about getting some of the high-tech buildings and industry over here. It takes cars off the road, it gives better paying jobs here, and it improves the quality of life of the people that travel, and it would improve the quality of life of the people here.
Excellent. Bill.
You know, that's a tough question to say number one, because there are difficulties. Undeniable water is the number one issue, but we can't solve that personally. at the Board of Supervisors, gonna take the entire county and, the irrigation districts and all of this. But I'm gonna set that aside, because that's a long-term achievable. Shorter term is building on economic, activity within the city of Modesto. I come from a background of building jobs and employing hundreds of people when I was in the building trade. It's important that we solve our housing problems. It's important that we go after creating the job centers that we need to have. That was when I started in mayor, when I ran for mayor on a chance back in 2011, my priority then, it's still my priority now, and we have a ways to go to prepare and do something about unemployment in our community and economic activity.
Very good. Buck?
The number one priority of any government, local, state, federal, is the protection of its people. So a strong, adequate public safety platform, staffing, adequate training, and that's from law enforcement, fire, EMS, corrections, probation, 911 dispatch. That entire platform needs to be adequately staffed and funded with the appropriate training.
Very good. Please evaluate the county's efforts to address homelessness and say what more should or might be done. Bill?
You know, that's a great question, and it's so important to people right now because we're dealing with homelessness pretty significantly in our community, more so. I had 9 years I worked at a soup, just volunteered and served at a soup kitchen many years ago, and it's changed. It's a new homelessness. But Stanislaus County is on the forefront. We are doing more than I think any other county. They joined with the city of Modesto and they were outreaching to the other cities because this problem is bigger than the county. It's every single city. And they have done that with a focus on serving and getting to the homeless. Look at what's happened with homelessness, where you have 10 cities that came up suddenly because of the 10th District Court of Appeals. That was closed as promised. We have built shelters at our Salvation Army shelter, a low barrier shelter that have been recently expanded. And the care that's coming through mental health because of addictions, whether it's alcohol or drug, those are the number one problems, and the county is focused on that. And I look forward to working with the county in the future when I'm elected.
Thank you. Buck?
Can you repeat?
Yeah, we want to know what your thoughts are about homelessness and what you might do to approach this issue.
Well, it's a huge issue in Stanislaus County. One, it's a health issue, it's a people issue. There, as my experience in the fire service for the last 32 years, homelessness, there's an addiction problem, an addiction and mental health problem. Stanislaus County is moving in the right direction. But as I walk precincts and talk to the voters out into the neighborhoods, they want to see the successes. They want to hear about it. We need to approach it from a regional aspect. It's just not a Modesto problem. It's just not a Stanislaus County. It's Oakdale City. It's Newman. It's Waterford. We have homeless everywhere. And as we continue to help treat and provide these services, we might see a change. But quite frankly, I think we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg. I think it's going to get much worse. It's also a health issue. We had firefighters go to a working structure fire not too long ago. After they were done with the fire, they realized they were working in an area with over 35-gallon buckets of human feces and had to be decontaminated that whole scene.
Thank you. Mike?
Yeah, I've been walking over 3 months, and that's a lot of the number one issue people like to talk about. County spent $35 million last year on the homeless issue, and it's a huge problem. It's taken a lot of resources. They bought the hotel, they've got the Salvation Army low barrier facility, but again, that's just tip of the iceberg. We need to address the addiction, like everybody pretty much as common theme said, the drug and alcohol addiction. And fact of life is some of these people don't want to get help too. I mean, with the facilities that are there, pretty soon it's going to be the ones that don't want the help you're going to be seeing. So it's a huge problem. There's not a one set answer. Some of the smaller cities don't have it, so it's mainly in the bigger cities where we got to concentrate and try to solve the problem.
All right. What do you think of the Board of Supervisors' cannabis policies? Buck?
I believe the revenue from the cannabis policies all should go to public safety. And the reason why, most of the issues that we deal with, such as a hazardous materials incident, that was a illegal cannabis oil extraction on it all day long, multiple units, multiple law enforcement units, all day long. Those agencies were never reimbursed for that. So I think all revenue generated from cannabis should go to public safety.
Very good, Mike?
I oppose it. One of the few cities, I think, Turlock, Newman, Waterford, when that first came out, we all opposed it. I still oppose it. The only reason we just recently approved some cannabis dispensaries was because the state now says that we have to allow deliveries in our cities, so.
You're talking about Waterford, of
Yeah,
course.
so look at what just happened in Patterson. I mean, that's what you're gonna see with some of these grow operations is armed people going in there to rob them. It's a cash business, so I oppose it, but if we're gonna have it, we gotta regulate it, but bottom line is I oppose it.
Bill, the county's policies on cannabis.
You know, back when it was first proposed, I never did support the advancement of it in our community, but it's here, and so now we live with what was passed. I initially, very hard, tried to get a policy of every city in the county having the same policies, because now we have a mixture of different cities having different kinds of rules and regulations and such. I still would like to work trying to stabilize, so at least we have consistent policy between all the city and the county. The county within itself has the opportunities of different types of marijuana, not only the dispensaries, but also the grow element, as well as the city of Modesto and some of the other cities that are working on it. The income from it being streamed towards public safety, I would agree with that, but I think also activities and things that help influence and deter children that are being exposed to it. A lot of children are very cavalier in this attitude. I can see it by the way they react to marijuana. So I think that some of the income needs to head that direction as well.
Thank you. This is more of an open question. I want to see if any of you support the state water board's idea or plan to take water from the Stanislaus, the Tuolumne, and the Merced rivers. Do any of you support that?
No,
No.
I do not.
Okay, then please take 30 seconds to explain why that's a bad idea. We'll start with Mike.
Well, it's a bad idea. Number one, we're one of the hugest agricultural-based business. I mean, it's like fourth, fifth largest economy in the world. So what they're proposing is take water away from the water rights away from the farmers and send it down to the river for drinking water. You're taking one of our number one agricultural businesses. It's gonna devastate the economy. And it's not actually gonna help any of the fish or anything like what they're proposing. So if they wanted to help the fish and stuff, the habitat of some of the banks and the shallow water spawning and stuff would probably do a better job.
Okay, again, this is short answers. Bill?
The State Water Resources Control Board, in my opinion, are out of control. They are making demands upon us that are significantly will impact us. In fact, we could shutter, I don't know, some numbers I've heard, 100,000 acres. In fact, statewide, I've heard over 1 million acres as they further go down the line of restricting the flows, the unimpaired flows on, or increasing the unimpaired flows on Stanislaus, Tuolumne, Merced, and the San Joaquin. So it would be devastating to our local economy and to our cities. We've seen what's happened to our urban forests when we had droughts. Now imagine more conservation on top of it.
Thank you. And Buck?
Absolutely opposed to the water grab. The Stanislaus County is an agricultural community. It's what keeps the lights on. It's what pays for the services here. If we had to shutter, we have right now over 700,000 acres in farmland our local farmers operate taking that water away is just going to devastate our economy. Not only that, it's gonna have a trickle-down effect in our aquifers. So no, I'm absolutely opposed to the water tower.
Very good. Not much disagreement there, but we wanted to hear your thoughts on it anyway. Okay, let's move to jobs. What are your specific ideas to attract some jobs to this county? We start with Bill.
You know, that's critically important. Not only do we need to preserve and enhance the ability for our growers in our community, the farming in our community, and ranchers, we also need to figure out how we're going to diversify that, provide jobs for so many people that are driving and commuting. The job centers to the west of us, we are bringing ACE Train, which I was part of that operation that allowed us to get SB1s and AB-132 $400 million to expand ACE Train for jobs. But we need to get jobs here. We need to open up those areas and create the opportunity. And we're not doing that well in our community of creating opportunity where job centers can come here into Stanislaus County. We have some job centers I call Beard Industrial Park. There on the southeast side of Modesto, a major center. We need some more like that in other locations where we have next to housing where we can expand and improve those. And not the improved prime farmland. I'm talking about the northeast side of Modesto and between Burbank and Oakdale.
Thank you. Buck?
How to get jobs here, strong public safety, strong infrastructure. We need to review or push to have reviewed the CEQA. We need to have and support our Crow's Landing Business Park. Those are the types of things, not be an obstacle. Get out of the government, get out of the way, and go talk to our expert leaders, our businessmen here. How do you get business here? Why are you here? What can we do better? Basically, for the most part, government needs to get out of the way.
Thank you. Mike?
Kind of as I stated earlier in my opening statement, is like we need to have a serious conversation about getting some of the high-tech jobs here. I see buses coming over here, picking them up at the park and ride and sending them to Facebook, Google, and other places like that. So we need to have a serious conversation about that. We need to work with the businesses to see what it's gonna take to maybe train our kids better. Not everybody's cut out for college, so we need to train some of our students better. I worked with my hands and made a good living with that. We need to bring back more trades in school. We don't have trades in high school, the workshop, metal shop, or any of that. Kids are forgetting how to work with their hands. I think we gotta bring some of that back too.
We're curious about your relationship with current members of the Board of Supervisors, and wonder if you could tell us how you see yourself fitting in with them if you're elected. Buck?
Yeah, as a firefighter representative and on the PAC committee, I had good relationships and still have to this day with all the Board of Supervisors. Worked with them on fire issues. So I think fitting in as one vote as a Board of Supervisor, you're not gonna be able to do anything unless you have a good relationship and build a team of trustworthiness with each other on the board. So yeah, I believe I have good relationships with them.
Mike?
Yeah, so me, have a very good relationship with all of them except for maybe Mr. Berryhill, who's in ill health now. I haven't had the opportunity to work with him very much. But sitting on StanCog, LAFCO, I already sit with a lot of the Board of Supervisors and we work on issues right there. Like Bill said earlier, working on the ACE Train, that was the county and cities all working together to get ACE Train here. So I think we have a very good working relationship already.
I actually also have a good relationship with all of the county supervisors. Kristin I worked with back when she was on city council and continued even to this day. When I see her in Sacramento visiting on policies and things that we're trying to do in our county. Each of them I know personally, and I have no problem with working, don't see any problem with working with any of them. Tom, and as I said, knew well at Sacramento, and also before that.
All right, we're gonna ask you, these next few questions are gonna be short answer questions. We'll give you 30 seconds each if you even need that much time. Please give a letter grade to the Stanislaus County Board of Supervisors, plus a brief explanation for that grade. We're talking AF, you know. Mike?
I'd say, I'd give them an A. I mean, after the economy collapsed and stuff, they had to lay off, cut a lot of services and stuff. I think the sheriff's office is back to full staffing. I think the DA is pretty close back to full staffing. So, it's good.
Good, Bill?
Yeah, good also. I'd give them probably a B plus. There's still a few things that they're working on, and they are succeeding in doing it. A little bit slow on the take up, I think, but not critical, because we came through a recession that pretty well smacked us back in the end of the last decade. And so I'd rate them much the same way.
Okay, so far, for the Board of Supervisors, we've got an A and a B plus. But
I'll give them a B. I still think there's areas in public safety that they need to take a look at and be better partnerships with. That's in the fire service. The sheriff's office has recovered well. I think they're back to full staffing. Obviously, we have some areas out in the rural communities as far as water issues go. They seem to be handling that well, but a B would be good.
very good. Again, short answers, please. Bill, Councilman, please give a letter grade to the Modesto City Council, plus a brief explanation.
So I've been through two council. Currently, I give them about a C minus and some of the problems that occur there. The communication isn't as good as I would like to see, and certainly the ability to work together has been, I'm just stating the facts, have been strained. But that's what we got, so we keep, being a member on that council, we work to try to improve those sorts of things.
Sounds like an honest answer. Thank you, Captain.
With the ones that I've watched, I would say probably a C minus. A lot of conflict, visual, a lot of the issues that seem to be, could be handled behind closed doors and one-on-one than on the dais. So I think a C minus would be it.
Mayor, you know how hard it is.
Yes.
What's your grade?
Yes, I do. I'd probably give them a C. I feel like there was a lot of conflict. I think they need to work better together. I mean, they've resolved some issues, but I think, overall, they should try working more together and not bring their personal agenda to the table.
Short answers again. Captain, give a grade to the Waterford City Council.
Waterford City Council, I have not attended many of their meetings, and it's been quite a while.
Mayor?
Hey, I'm not biased, but I'll give them an A. We've got business during the economy, during the collapse. We didn't cut services, we didn't lay anybody off. We have almost a 60% reserve. I give them an A.
Councilman?
Yeah, and much the same, I haven't been deeply involved in the process of meetings and where the councilmen there, council people there, councilmen and women. So knowing what I do know, they seem to be functioning just fine.
Same question. Please grade the Stanislaus Consolidated Fire District. Mayor?
An F. We're almost $1 million over budget. They can't sustain this. If they keep going the way they're going, they're gonna go under, and we're gonna have to figure out a way. And I know Oakdale's already contracted with the city of Modesto, and if they don't get their house in order financially, it looks like, we'll probably be doing the same with Modesto.
Stanislaus Consolidated Councilman?
I would give them an F also in what is happening there. Unfortunately, we have a regionalization product that comes from the city of Modesto. Oakdale joined it, everything's going great there. They're meeting their budgets, and they were having some difficulties at that time. And I'd like to introduce that to Consolidated. I spoke with some over there saying, take a look, come to Modesto, maybe we can do some contracting with you also. And from the numbers I'm seeing, we could open stations and meet the budget and save $1 million, so.
Thank you. Captain, your agency.
The two members here given Fs mean that's a complete failure. Well, I know the men and women that work at Stanislaus Consolidated Fire Protection District that provide the very best service every single day, putting out fires, saving lives. So an F is not that. I would say a C plus, B minus, because there's always room for improvement. Now, management areas, yeah, we need probably a lot of improvement, probably a D plus. So And our board has made plans to correct those issues. Our board now and our board prior made plans with the chief, hired a financial consultant to put those plans together.
Actually, do you need any more time? I gave you the stop sign, but this is your agency and you're sort of rebutting. If you need more, I will give
Yeah,
it to you.
it's absolutely amazing, and this is probably what comes from political heads that don't know about the fire service and think they do. The men and women are providing the service on the street, active partners in the MCST resource sharing agencies that we assist and they assist. So if we were complete failures, do you think we would be part of that system?
Thank you. This next one is also an open question, but I'm not as well, I can't predict your answer to it. I'm just wondering if any of you do not support the North County corridor?
Absolutely support.
Support?
Support.
Support and support.
Absolutely, working for it right now.
Okay, okay. Take just a brief moment and say what it might do for the district. And for our viewers at home, the North County corridor is a future freeway that would run from Modesto out to east of Oakdale. Where did we ended with you, so, yes, Bill.
Sure. North County Corridor, quite familiar with it. We've been, many times, I've been to DC, and as you know, we received $20 or $30 million, you know, you start confusing which grant we received on which one. In the most recent years, a build grant. And so now we're on the phase from Oakdale to Claus Road. That's the next phase. The EIR is supposed to be, we expect to have it finished this year. It's a key corridor because it affects Riverbank, it affects Oakdale, and it affects Modesto. And the ability to move goods and services, particularly people, through that area and able to and expand businesses that would function using those resources, using that transportation system will be significant. We need to get the rest of it finished though in the future from Claus Road past up to Lancaster.
Okay, that was a pretty good synopsis. Would you have something to add to that, Buck?
No, that's absolutely correct. The North County corridor is going to be an explosive roadway for Oakdale, Riverbank, and Modesto. I think you'll see a lot of economic development, especially in the industrial area, the Army ammunition plant, and the city of Riverbank, who have plans on right now, even with the improvements that have happened on Clarabelle Road, with the Crossroads West. So you're kind of already seeing a little bit going at a time, and as soon as that gets extended all the way out, then you're gonna see a little bit of movement in Oakdale also.
I don't know how much direct effect it would have on Waterford, but if elected, this would be your district. What do you have to say, Mike?
Yeah, I support it, and I think last night we just voted to approve, I forget, 20 million or something like Bill was saying, to start land acquisition and.
Was that Stancog?
Yeah, Stancog and stuff. And then LAFCO, we just approved that annexation on the new spot there, the crossroads. And then, like Buck was saying too, it's gonna open up the Army ammunition. I know they have the rail and stuff, and the Merrill Riverbank's already been working on trying to get that expanded into an industrial park and stuff too, so it wouldn't affect Waterford too much, so.
Okay. The outgoing supervisor who's stepping aside is Kristin Olsen. Name something that you think is positive about something that she did, and maybe something you thought she could have done a little better. Buck?
Well, I think she's been very accessible, at least for me anyway. Very tied into the community, or the political community, so to speak, the state and local areas. She's been a good supervisor.
Good, Mike?
Yeah, I think she's done a great job. She's a very smart, capable lady. I wish her the best of luck with whatever she's gonna do in the future. I very recently worked with her on talks with City of Modesto, MID, and she's been in on the conversation. Waterford right now is in the process of trying to get surface water, and she helped facilitate some of the talks initially when we started.
Okay, Bill?
Yeah, I would concur with my two other candidates here. I think she's done a decent job. I know her as a person that's almost a cheerleader when she gets engaged in something, because she's very capable of getting things done. She worked hard on some of our water issues, and that was at the state level, and still when she was elected 4 years ago, she worked hard to continue to lobby and try to protect our water supply here locally, so very, very pleased with her.
All right, there are many departments in Stanislaus County government which, if elected, you would help to oversee. Think of one that needs some improvement and tell us what you would do to help that. Mike?
I think, well, the DA, I think, was understaffed. I think they just allocated more money to them to give them more staffing. I think that was probably one of the ones that was the weakest. They need to start prosecuting some of the minor crimes, and if you don't have a safe community to live in, the people aren't gonna wanna live there. You're not gonna get business to come and wanna open shop, and I think overall, we gotta start prosecuting some of these minor crimes and putting the money towards that will help.
Okay, identifying potential problems in county government. Bill?
Absolutely, the DA, that's been a problem. Yeah, there's funding issues that have occurred there. But at the same time, in fixing the funding at the DA's office, we also need to look at how do we operate and fix some homeless issues, those minor crimes, those quality of life issues that are being ignored, and being able to do something about that. That would include fixing fully funding the REACT Center at the Sheriff's Department. It's built facilities. It's a place where you get job training and education while you serve time for quality of life sorts of issues. And I support expanding that program at the new sheriff's facility.
Thank you. Buck?
Absolutely, the DA's office, they're having the same issues as the sheriff's office had when losing invaluable, experienced employees. People were leaving. The sheriff's office created the Deputy 2 position. That pretty much stopped people leaving the department and going other places. They have done that now with the DA's office, and I'd like to see how that is gonna transpire.
And I might just point out too, a lot of the people that are running for judges are current prosecutors and stuff, and if they get elected, that's gonna have another huge effect on our DA's office.
Are you encouraging people not to vote for the
No, I'm not. I
DA
think
candidates?
most of them are some of the best qualified people. I'm just pointing out that.
Okay, just needed to
Yep.
clarify that. Okay, what, do we have enough affordable housing in this county? And if not, what should we do about it? Bill?
Oh, you're gonna ask a question that I'm quite familiar with, because I do know housing. I've been involved in it for most of my 46 years in business, not just affordable housing in general. And so the challenges with affordable housing is making it affordable. How do you get there? If you build something, you have to be able to pay for it and pay it back if you're buying it within 30 years and not have the price so high it's too expensive. So affordable housing typically requires grants and things such. I've built 346 low-income houses, or apartments actually, as well as about 500 houses. I know what the problems to get there. To do affordable and get to that level, you have to find grants and other sort of resources. The state's targeted, and they are going after fixing some of the problems. The biggest problem is government gets in the way of it. It's the same old problem we always hear. Get government out of the way, and we can fix that problem in the building industry.
Well, you were just setting up Buck, weren't you?
And I think I answered that before in another question. Get government out of the way and see what happens, and let private businesses take over. Define affordable housing in the state of California. You talking about San Francisco, or are you talking about over here? I mean, it's one side or the other. It doesn't matter. Affordable housing depends on the type of job and the type of money you're making. So we need to define that more. Get government out of the way. Quit imposing all these different rules, such as like I think just the last one, solar. And we gotta put solar on all the houses now, right? So let's get government out of the way, let private business take over.
Affordable housing, Mike?
Yeah, it's kind of like all of them, said, and what's affordable? It's like, are you talking about subsidized housing, or are you talking about starter homes. Waterford's getting ready to start a 75 house subdivision that is getting ready to break ground. It's gonna start out in the low threes. If you're making $60,000, $80,000 a year, that's probably not affordable housing to you, so. And then with the new solar, that's just adding on more costs, and that's gonna get passed to the consumer, so. All the CEQAs that we gotta go through and stuff, we get rid of some of the regulations, let us do our job and build the product. And, maybe we need, if the governor's wanting to offer more incentives to build some of the lower, housing for people to get started in, that would be a way to go too.
Thank you. In the race for state senate, do you support Manny Graywall, Susan Eggman, Jesus Andrade, or Kathy Garcia? Short answers, please. Buck.
Haven't really made a decision in that arena yet. I think they're all good candidates, and I'll evaluate as I go.
Very good. Mike?
Yeah, I am up in the air on that one, I'm not committing to that one either yet. I think there's two Republicans, I think Jim Ridenhour's in the race also. So we'll just have to see, I haven't heard much out of any of them yet, I just now hearing the ads and starting to see signs, so.
Thank you for mentioning that. He did not come to our forum like this that we held at the Bee, which is why I must have left him off. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you for correcting. Bill.
I have endorsed Manny Graywall. I know him from working on the council. He, like I, are one of the calm, sensible ones on the council. And he's smart, and he'd serve our community well.
Thank you. Another short answer in the race for District 5 on the county supervisors. Do you support Chance Condit, Tom Hallinan, or Mike Klein? Mike.
Starting with me, well, I don't know the two of them, I know one of them, I think Mike Klein would be the one I would tend to support. He's got city council experience, and just going off of that, knowing Mike, working with him on Stancog and some other issues, I would tend to lean more towards Mike Klein.
Good, Bill?
Yeah, I haven't decided on that one yet. I haven't been asked either. But I'll wait and see how that shakes out. Also, I'm friends with some of them in that race, and two in particularly, and so it becomes a dichotomy, am I gonna, so I'll probably stay out of that anyway.
Buck?
Chance Condit.
Well, what a surprise.
What a surprise. No, he's a very independent thinker, experienced in politics, he's well-rounded.
Let's have short answers again, but please tell us something that you appreciate about each of your two opponents here. Bill.
Well, I know Mike well, and it's easy for me to say that I enjoy working with him at Stancog. He's a hard worker, and he's smart also, so I appreciate him. But I really don't know that well, other than through what I've read and seen on the fire. We bumped into one another out on the campaign trail, but he's always been pleasant. In fact, both of them have always been pleasant, and we're trying to take the high road, so.
You found something good to say about each of them. Very good, Buck.
I think I could probably answer it both at the same time. I appreciate their public service and the time and commitment that they do day in, day out as a council person, as a mayor, and sitting on the other committees. It takes a lot of time and effort to do that stuff. Takes you away from your families. So I appreciate that.
Mike.
Well, it's funny that you asked that, because we were sitting at Stancog last night, and me and Bill's going over our schedules, and we got conflicting bills on a Latino roundtable, and somebody made the comment, it's like, God, you guys get along. It's like, why wouldn't we? I mean, we're two guys working towards the common goal, and that's where I say, you don't bring your agendas to the table, you do what's best for the community, and I think all of us are trying to do that, Buck in its own way with his public service for the firefighters, us as public service for our city councils, and I think all of us need to be commended.
Can I add a little bit on that? Just
10 seconds.
Okay, 10 seconds. So we're sitting around the table, we discover that we have, which day is it, and he has one date and I have another. And so we get on the phone and we call to get the answer. And the point of it is, people are tired tired of this kind of race where we're bickering and fighting against one another. It's nice just to talk about the issue. It's not about us, it's about the issue. Let's stick there. And we did that last time.
Anybody else want 10 seconds?
I'll just say amen.
Okay.
I think, just to add, it was, people were amazed that we were so cordial, and I'm just like, why not? I mean, I don't know Buck that well, but I'm sure he's a very nice guy, just from what little I've met and talked to him, so I don't, politics nowadays just is pretty sickening what's going on our national level. I'll just leave it
Okay,
at that.
thank you. What specifically sets you apart from your opponents? Why should someone vote for you? Who do we start with? I'm lost. Buck.
I think it's been my 32 years of fire service experience here in Stanislaus County. 28 of those years, February 1st will be 28 years, is exclusively in District 1. I've worked every fire station or covered every fire station in District 1. Been in thousands of businesses, thousands of homes, orchards. I've chased fire across the rangeland in District 1. I've met and developed relationships in District 1, and I understand the opportunities and challenges in District 1.
Very good, Mike?
Well, I come from a construction background, so I like to approach things with common sense, do it once, and planning, and being mayor and serving on city council, Stancog and all that gave me a great opportunity to see how the planning part works, and I think that's the goal, is plan, get jobs here. We're working on surface water, so, you know, do everything for quality of life issues, and I think that's what kind of sets us apart.
What sets you apart, Bill?
The big difference is I have 46 years as a small businessman. I've signed the front of that check and had to balance the budget and figure out how to meet payroll almost all of that time, one way or another.
Those were almost closing statements, but we want to give you an opportunity to close it out and put a bow on it. So we'll start with Mike.
Just kind of repeat what I said, you know, I'm a local guy, I'm born and bred in Stanislaus County, raised my family here, serving 11 years on city council and mayor and Stancog. It's gave me a huge understanding of Stanislaus County and what it takes to run it. We've gotten business in Waterford. Like I said, we have a 60% reserve. We're working on getting surface water. We have 400 acres that we can annex, so it's all about planning, getting jobs, and public safety to create a good cultural and for people who live in.
Thank you, Bill.
My record speaks for itself. I get the job done. Stanford and Briggsmore intersection will soon be starting the process to fix the traffic congestion in those areas, and that's because I worked to get it on the radar at our city. Stearns Road at Highway 108 has serious safety issues. It also is able, and I asked at our COG that it be added to our 10-year plan in the next 2 years. I testified at the state, what I call the state water grab. I testified against the state of California for us, and I've worked hard to protect those water rights on the Water Advisory Committee, as well as a councilman, because it's going to affect every single business in the county. And as a businessman, I know that I know about payroll and I know about budgets. That's what I brought to the city. That's what I'll bring to Stanislaus County, is that common sense that you get as a person in business dealing with the budget.
Thank you. Buck.
Again, thank you, Modesto Bee Editorial Board, for the time. People of District 1 out in internet land, my name is Buck Condit, and I'm a candidate for Stanislaus County Board of Supervisors District 1. If you want status quo, then by all means, vote for my opponents. If you want fresh perspective, different ideas, new ways of looking at things, then vote for me. I want to try something new. Let's have strong public safety. Let's have our homeless taken care of. Let's stop the water grab. Let's take care of our veterans. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, each of you. We acknowledge that it's a bit of a a challenge and a sacrifice to run for public office. And we respect you for putting yourself forward and opening yourself up and coming here to answer our questions. We appreciate that you are public servants. This concludes our discussion. Thank you.